Okay, looks like we are live. Well, welcome everybody to Mappy Hour. This is your happy hour for those of us who love maps, also known as geocachers. So, welcome everybody and cheers. We made it to another Friday. Hey.
Yeah.
Let me get more folks in from the
Yeah.
waiting room here. There we go. And sounds like we're not going to get the YouTube echo, so I think we're good to go. So tonight's topic is about geocaching wellness, basically. How has it affected your health? Hopefully, positively. And I got something in my eye all of a sudden.
Well, that's not healthy.
No, it's not. Yeah, well, I'm not geocaching. That's why. So it's a topic that we've kind of skirted around in different ways, but haven't really addressed it directly in the last couple of years as to, I know some people that have started geocaching specifically to help them lose weight, or to get more steps in, or as a stress reliever. It's a great way because it's so focusing and hopefully fun. It's a great way to reduce your stress in your life just to get out there and have some fun with the geocaching. So that's what tonight's topic is all about. Let me get more folks in from the waiting room. There we go. And but before we get there, we have our notes from the field, where everyone will get 2 minutes to share about, what sort of geocaching adventures have you been up to the last couple of weeks. And we've got some notes from our trip down to,
Hmm.
to Woodstock as well that we'll share at the end. But before we get to there, we do have a few ground rules just to keep everything moving smoothly. As many of you know here, this is being live streamed and it is being recorded to YouTube. So keep everything family friendly. Treat it like you would any sort of geocaching event because there could be kids in the rooms with us here on Zoom and watching on YouTube as well. And please keep yourself on mute. If you'd like to join the conversation, just raise your hand here in Zoom. Kid Vegas 19 is
Monitoring.
monitoring. Thank you. Keeping an
YouTube.
eye on YouTube. Yep. And
And you'll glad to know YouTube is still there.
yeah, oh, good.
Yep.
Okay, it's still there. That's good to know. Yeah. So, and if you'd like to join in the conversation and you're out of order, you've got an answer for somebody, just wave at the screen and hopefully we can see that and bring you into the conversation. Um, did we even introduce ourselves fully? Did we? Yes, okay. Yeah, you guys all know who we are, but in case, look at Lisa, Kid Vegas 19. We are in Spokane Valley, Washington, close to Idaho border, about 4 to 5 hour drive to HQ from here. So I see we've got hands coming up. So let's go ahead and jump into notes from the field. Love to know what you guys have been up to. And Robert is first, and then Starcasher, and then Vince, and Mike.
Thanks so much, Lisa. If I suddenly fall off, just it's not you, it's my computer's RAM's been acting up. So if that happens, I
Yeah.
apologize. Um, yeah, I participated on back in May, the last Saturday in May. I participated in a CTO where I helped pick up trash wood and around a reservoir. So I picked up a whole wardrobe and a lot of trash. I picked up a bathrobe and backpack and shoes and all sorts of stuff. So it's amazing what you all find discarded by a reservoir in the middle of a city center, but that's what you find when you do a CTO. We picked up a good amount of trash, and it was the cash owner DTV man's first event hosted. So a big shout out and congratulations to him on a successful event. After that, me and my friends, we the DeBowmans and Robuster went out as Team Busting Bones, and we found 16 geocaches. We got one that was a 4.5 out of 5.0 difficulty. So that was a fun mystery final to get. And we got various other caches and enjoyed ourselves. Been trying to get out and do some more caching, but the weather has not been cooperating. It's either been thunderstormy or it's been too hot. So I'm just patiently abiding my time until everything is right.
Cool. Good plan. Well, sounds like you've been having some good times. That's awesome. Yeah. Do you have a time constriction today as well, or can you stay with us the whole time, hopefully?
Try to stay with you the whole. It's more of my RAM. The reason I dropped off last week is my RAM suddenly picks up too much memory and then the whole computer crashes. So I'm going to try to stay with you,
Okay.
but we'll see what the computer does. I'm hoping, cross my fingers, that works.
Okay. Well, good luck. Yeah. Close all your other
Thanks.
tabs. Yeah. Cool. Good to hear from you. I think it was, who did I call on next? Hang on, my windows got a little confused there. Jim, Starcasher's next.
Hello. I also went to the Geo Woodstock, and obviously the 4 days there was wonderful. The 4 days I was there, but the main thing is my trip to there and back, not necessarily the days that are there, because I did a 15-day trip, uh, drove 3,300 miles in 72 hours of driving.
Ooh.
Let's see. In that period, I walked 93 miles according to my phone. So, uh, the, I picked up 5 new states for me,
Wow.
which was Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, Colorado, and Missouri. Uh, and of course, I just don't do states. I do contiguous counties. So basically, that's one of the reasons it takes me forever to get there and back, because I'm having to find at least one cache in every county that I go through. So I picked up uh, about, I haven't got the exact number, but about 80 new counties in that trip.
Wow.
Uh, what the Colorado find, I had to go far enough into Colorado to get a cache that was 1,005 miles from my house. Sorry. So, because I've never had a cache that was more than 1,000 miles from my home, so I had to go at least 1,000 miles. So 1,005 miles from my home is where I found a cache there in Colorado. Uh, Notable caches were, let's see, I did the cache odysseys in Indiana, Iowa, and Nebraska. Cache across America in Kansas and Missouri. I got a webcam in Iowa and another one in Kansas.
Wow.
Uh, I have, of course, Mingo. I mean, you have to go get. I'm right there. I had to get Mingo. Uh, I also got Missouri's Otis, which is June of 2000, and I got Indiana's second Otis, which is November of 2000. Uh, while I was near Mingo, I also went to the highest point in Kansas, which I don't know if you guys know, Mount Sunflower, it's called. It basically is, imagine, some people know. Basically, you're in a plain, the plain farm fields, as far as you can see, basically pretty much level, except there's one little teeny little rise, and one of the farm fields has a little bit of a rise to it, and that's the highest point in Kansas, is that little rise. But it does take 20 miles of driving on dirt roads to get there.
Wow.
So it is a hard track to get there because of just that. Going up the mountain itself is nothing. Let's see. Other notable cache related stuff was, I stopped in Riverside, Iowa, which I don't know if people know where Riverside, Iowa is, but that is the future birthplace of Captain James T. Kirk. He will be born there March 22nd, 2228, which is a little more than about 202 years from now. He'll be born there in Riverside, Iowa. And so they have statues, they have a Star Trek museum, whatever, monuments, everything, all to do with that.
Yeah.
And of course, there's caches related to that stuff. The other thing is, well, I didn't go to the Arch, St. Louis Arch, but I did go to a yes, yes. uh, I did go to the park across the river from the Arch, so I got a nice view of the Arch, but I didn't go to the Arch itself. But that was nice seeing the Arch. well, whatever. And the other thing was, I don't know about Illinois. It's it's public. I know the geocaching blogger has done a couple stories on that, but it's it's a small town in Illinois that has uh I don't know how many, like 40 of the world's largest things, like the world's largest mailbox that you can actually walk upstairs and get into, world's largest teeter totter, world's largest rocking chair, bird cage, pencil, yard, this a whole slew of stuff. I got to see quite a lot. I did the mailbox and I did the pitchfork because that was required for the virtual. But I saw some other stuff, but I didn't have that much time because I'm still had a lot of more counties to do that day. So, but it kind of, and actually those world largest was almost a theme of the trip because not only did I stop there, but just north of Woodstock there was the world's largest salt shaker. I don't know if you've seen, went to the town. There was
Yeah.
it's a town right next to Hutchinson. There was a town that's the world's largest salt shaker. And another thing in Indiana, I stopped in. It was one of those big, huge rocking chairs, but it has stairs that you can walk to. So you walk up, so you can actually sit in this chair and do your best Edith Ann impression.
Mhm.
So I mean, so kind of this is a theme of the world's largest stuff there. But so let's see, that's my list of geocaching stuff. Yeah, and I also did one day at Worlds of Fun Amusement Park and 2 days at Six Flags St. Louis Amusement Park. So I got my coasters riding in too. So.
That's awesome.
Well, that sounds like a fantastic trip.
Yeah, it's an awesome trip.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's my summary.
Well, thanks for
Okay.
sharing. Yeah. Well, I wish soon we'll have a little more extra time where we can, travel and, slow it down instead of flying in and, doing the quick events and then flying back home. Looking forward to slowing it down and enjoying the trail.
So before we get to Vince, let me talk about Dale Johnson in YouTube. Returned home yesterday from a trip to Kansas, Missouri from North Utah. Got Mingo and many others. Got virtuals and mysteries to qualify for a bunch of challenges. All counties across I-70 in Kansas. It's so fun.
That's awesome. Good work. So
Yeah.
yeah, you definitely had some targets there and got them. So that's cool. All right, I think it was Vince next.
Yeah, I've been took a couple day trips to the east side of the state over here in Michigan. I've started to resume working on the various Michigan state park geotours they got out. So I had a couple geocaches in that series that were way over on the far side of the state. Of course, I'm not going to drive all the way over there for just one or two hides, so I made a day trip out of it and took a nice ride along the Lake Huron shore. Um, We've been hosting a few lunch events, and actually today at today's lunch event, whatever, we had an attendee that was there from West Virginia. So that's always nice when you got somebody that shows up from out of the area, because then that means I can greatly reduce my travel bug inventory. So they bring a few, and then I said, "Here, you want to take?" And then she says, "Oh, I'll take everything." I says, "All right, sweet deal." And then it gets us into some new scenery for those trackables, so they don't keep circulating around here. But the main thing I'm doing is I was making preparations to. I'm taking a pretty decent trip to the western part of the UP this Sunday now that school around here has ended because I'm a school employee. So now it makes it much easier to take time off. And that was one of the main reasons why I took a rain check on Geo Woodstock. I wrestled with the fact of wanting to go there, but then that would have meant two trips about a week and a half apart. And then, of course, when Geo Woodstock is always over Memorial Day weekend, and it's kind of hard to take any kind of extended time off. Then, so other than that, yeah, that's what I've been up to. So.
Sounds
Wow.
awesome.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and also I was going to say that town you're talking about with all the big stuff. I think it's Casey, Illinois. I was there about 2, 3 years ago, and I went pretty much. I saw all the big stuff because I was like, I saw vloggers YouTube video on it, and I'm going like, well, I'm not just going to go here to see two of the biggest things. I pretty much went and saw all this stuff. I spent like a good 8 hour. I basically designated a good 8 hour day there to pretty much see everything. So that other town that I think they mentioned in the I think somebody
Cairo?
mentioned I think Chris mentioned it was Cairo. Actually, there is a Cairo, Illinois. Cairo, Illinois is the southernmost town in Illinois. It's almost right where the Ohio and the Mississippi rivers come together. So there is a Cairo, Illinois, but it was Casey that's got all the cool big stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Very worthwhile. So, like, if anybody who hasn't been there and wants to, I would strongly urge you to, spend a whole day there and, take it all in.
Yeah, sounds like
Perfect.
it. Yeah. Right after Wall Drug.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Vince. So we've got Mike, Melissa, and then JNLA.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Okay, yeah, didn't do a whole lot over that last weekend, but while everybody else was at Geo Woodstock, I was at Anime North and had some fun there. And then on the way home, I hit one of the rest stops, and the cache itself wasn't much, just your average pill bottle, but the way it was done was kind of ingenious. Somebody had zip tied a bit of plastic to the fence and cut a hole in it just perfectly sized that the bottle sits in it. So all I had to do was thumb on the lip, push up on the bottle, and it's out and easily dealt with and easily put back. But the bracer isn't going anywhere with that zip tie. So I thought that was a very handy thing, and I'm going to remember that for the future if I ever decide to place a fence cache.
Yeah.
So not a lot, but that was what I was able to do on the trip. On the other hand, drifting off to the other game, there were some several Munsies at the hotel I was staying at. Here's the interesting thing. 3 years running, I'm the only person who's found any of them.
Oh, really?
Really? Huh.
Yeah, this thing is in the middle of a very busy part of the city, just across a freeway from the convention center, which you can just walk over the bridge to get to. And that's it. Four, there were four Munsies in the parking lot, and I'm the only finder.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
some of them have been there for years. I didn't get it. So,
Hmm. I haven't actually even looked at Muncie in probably 8, 9 years. So, I'm glad it's still a thing, but perhaps it's at least in that area slowing
At
down.
least in that parking
Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, well, that's the interesting thing. I will do both geocache and Munzie hunts when I'm out at some of these big events. And I keep finding cases of some caches, they get found somewhat regularly. The Munsies will unexpectedly go years without being found. And so I'm going around and finding Munsies that haven't been found in 6 or 7 years. So
Huh. Yeah,
weird.
Yeah,
Anyway,
depends on lonely.
but
yeah.
yeah, that's it. Just that one little cache, but I loved that mechanism. That is a neat trick.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for
So
sharing.
your event, the convention, that was that the one in Toronto?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay. Mhm.
yeah, it was at the Toronto Congress Center. I wound up in the Sheraton across the kitty corner from the convention center just due to the whole hotel booking thing. This event is so popular that when the room block opens, 5 hotels book out solid in as many minutes.
Oh my gosh. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a big one.
So I've been trying to get into the Delta for the last several years and haven't been able to do it. The Delta is
Wow.
the one directly across from the convention center that has some more of the events in it as well. But anyway, I think I've exhausted my 2 minutes. So
Okay, thanks. Zip.
Yeah.
All right, we've got Melissa, Jane LA, and then Ken.
Yeah, so I haven't done a lot of caching because the cat saga has continued. My my son who lost the two cats, the third cat got sick
Hmm.
and they felt it was environmental. So he and the cat lived with us for 5 days while they had a complete deep clean with environmental pet friendly stuff in their house.
Okay.
So the cat finally and he have finally gone back home.
Hmm.
But I did have a grocery run on Tuesday, and I saw the day before a new one had posted and hadn't been found. And I was like, well, that's near the end of the circle I make. Maybe I'll reverse the circle. So I reversed the circle. I got a first to find. It was a 3D printed puzzle container,
Mm.
and it took me 15 minutes to get that thing open. But I was persistent. After about 10 minutes, I reached out to the CO and they were like, just keep at it.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I don't mind that. They're like, you're doing the right thing. Just, because I did let them know what I was doing. They said, you'll get it. You'll get it. And I did.
Hmm.
I got it. And they were like, yay. So that was the highlight of the week. I am going to an event tomorrow for a geocacher who passed away in the last year. She
Mm.
was an elderly woman, so you know it wasn't a surprise when she passed away. But we're having a special celebration for her
Mm.
and stuff, so that'll be nice. And I
Mm.
get to just do fun stuff, and hopefully no more cat issues.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully things calm down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on the first to find and a
Oh,
difficult field puzzle as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it felt so satisfying to get that thing open.
I
Yeah,
bet.
exactly.
Oh, yeah, I know that feeling, especially when it's your first find.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, thanks for sharing. Mike, you were trying to show us something on your phone. I wasn't sure what that was.
That was a cache,
uh,
right?
Oh, was that the cache?
yeah, I was just in
Okay.
fact typing that in the chat that
Okay,
was
great.
the fence mount for that cache I was talking about, but it's hard to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It just looks kind of like gunk, but I thought
Also well
give it a
camouflaged.
shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well camouflaged. Awesome. Thanks. We've got Jane
Jana.
Ellen.
There we go. Hello.
Hey.
Our to-do that we did, our what do you call it, the notes from the field, we went to Hutchinson. I wasn't able to go down for the actual event, but I came down the next morning with my hubby. We left at 3 a.m. and drove all the way down. It's like 5.5 hours or so when you include stops for gas. I got down there and we're able to do the Sido for a little bit, and then we went up to the GPS maze, which was really cool. Got a tour of the Cosmosphere. That was pretty neat too,
Mm-hmm.
actually.
Yeah.
I changed there, and then we went down to the Arkansas River, and the team River Rats was going to go down there. So there's a whole bunch of people mostly from Kansas and Kansas City area that were part of this group. So there were 12 people on canoes, on kayaks that they rented, and then I drove down with mine on the car. So we pull into the parking lot, and my husband's car's running while we're going after the bonus, and all of a sudden, it stops working. And so
Mm-hmm.
we were like, how are we going to get my boat back to the starting line? Luckily, our canoes gave me a really nice rate, and they let me pay cash and threw my boat on their bus and drove me up there. And he spent the rest of the time in the parking lot, and Truckee 79's wife helped him go get a battery because they tried dumping it and it died again. We're like, battery's just really bad. But they tested the alternator and it was coming up really bad as well. So we're like, okay, well, maybe the new battery will get us part of the way. I'm going to get on the river. I just went ahead and did it, let him do his thing. So we get on the river and beautiful weather, but the water was really not very deep. So you're doing we called it the butt scootin' boogie as you're going across the sand. There was a point where there was a severed head. It was part of the caches, but I'm on the wrong side of the river and I'm like, hey guys, there's a severed head over there. You might want to go check it out. So, because they were upstream, and yeah, sure enough, there's a great picture on some of the pages that you can see this severed head that was it was like a mannequin head. And then we're partway down the river, and there were three of us that actually got hit by what looked like a little tornado. There was no clouds.
Wow.
There was nothing. It was a water devil, but it threw three of us like in almost into the wall. We're all going, whoa! Was
Oh
it?
my gosh.
You should Google water devil, and like it's this little really really fast. I mean, you've heard of dirt devils, and I used to dance in those, but oh no, this was way faster and it was really fun though. So anyway, I get back and we decided to go ahead and give it a try, and then the car only made it to Salina before the alternator conked out on us. So luckily though, the worker was willing to give us a ride back, and her husband was a mechanic, a truck mechanic, so he fixed it. It was like angels helping us the whole way. So and then my mom came down with a trailer just in case, because she'd already started just in case, and bought us ice cream and then followed us halfway back so that, to make sure. But yeah, it was entertaining, I'll tell you.
What a trip. Oh my goodness. But yeah, nobody died, no blood. So yeah.
No,
Awesome.
just got spun up by a water devil. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So you could have not been in Kansas anymore.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good one.
That was a good one, huh?
Na, 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 na.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we just missed you because we had left Saturday afternoon, left the Hutchinson area. But we'll get to that in a moment. We've got Ken and then Chris.
So, I'm still recovering some computer issues, so I'm not even going to try the camera.
Okay.
Laptop's coming out of warranty, so of course now's the time where everything's starting to go wrong, and I'm trying to race the warranty clock on fixing. So that's been a fun week on that front, but enjoyed my time down, going down to Hutchinson. They took I had to work part of the week, so I did the first half of the week in Independence, Missouri, and did a lot of sightseeing. Worked on Santa Fe Trail while I was in that area. Saw a few sites like the Truman House and Truman Library. They had a cool exhibit for the 250th where they had a bunch of old original documents that they brought out and had on display. So that was really kind of a neat piece. Fun event down in Hutchinson itself. Good to see several of you that I was able to spot down there. So that just really was a good time. I got 30 new counties, so that helped fill in a line. Though how of course the line works, I have one in Kansas that is between the two highways I've took through Kansas, so now I've got that one that's kind of staring me in the face of, how'd you miss that one? But just grabbed on opposite ends. So but that's good. Have a bunch more caches to log now, so that's always, why not? I was only sitting at 600, sit there and add another 150, why not? But so that was kind of last couple weeks. I ran into Dick and Annette when we were out on the challenge run. I kept chasing their signature, getting a little bit closer because I was only doing the challenges I qualified for. So it's like, oh, I'm 3 behind, I'm 2 behind, I'm 1 behind. There's their vehicle. So that was a fun little stop there. So yeah, had a fun time with that. This weekend I am running down to Continental to catch the big boy coming across, which is a fun town for me to be able to stop in. It's where my grandmother was raised as a younger child, so I've got family from that area. So I'll go down and see, visit some family headstones, both sides of the family. I've got some visits tomorrow. Unfortunately, the weather's not great, but hey, you can't always plan everything. So, but yeah, that'll be fun. And then I'll be off for a couple weeks because I'll be on a Scandinavian cruise, and I love hanging out, but not at 3 o'clock in the morning. So
Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
Europe friendly, unfortunately, with our timeline.
Excellent.
Yeah, well, bon voyage. Have a fantastic time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, thanks for sharing. I think we have Chris next.
And then great adventures from YouTube
Oh,
after.
okay. After that. Okay.
Okay. Well, hey, gang. I really have not done a lot of caching in the past couple of weeks. I tried for an FTF today, but DNF'd it, and the same little muggles that try and mess with my cache that I was doing maintenance on apparently took that one before the FTF was even gotten. But the main thing I've been working on over the past couple of weeks is what you see on the screen. This is my trip to Cashmore in Morgantown, West Virginia. So but in 2 weeks, the next time we get together, I'll probably be about in the middle of it, somewhere over here in Minnesota or so.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
that's the game plan. That took a little bit of planning, and it will take more effort to execute, obviously. But I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, I'm
So,
wondering why you chose such a direct route. It could be more meandering. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, well, like I said last time we got together, I had been considering, when I got up here in Montana, I was going to pop over to Coeur d'Alene and play with the capybaras. But
Yeah.
I couldn't get that scheduled because their schedule's already full. So
Oh,
yeah, it's a little less meandering than it was. I tried, JD. I really did try to make it meandering.
Oh my
excellent.
goodness.
That looks fun.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. So I assume you're working on some specific challenges or
Working
goals?
on challenges and kind of like Jim was talking about, I'm a county cacher.
Okay.
So most of that is for county caching. It's counties, it's Cache Odyssey, Oldest in State, and Cache Across America. Those
Okay.
last three are the big ones. Those are the main points. And then I filled in the counties that I went through and were nearby in a caching definition of nearby.
Yeah.
Right. Adjacent. Yeah. Awesome. We'll have a fantastic trip.
Yeah.
So
Thanks.
hopefully we'll hear from you in 2 weeks and see where you are in the middle of. Yeah.
I will report back.
Okay, great.
Excellent. Yeah,
So
so
you
great
do.
adventures.
Mhm.
Says we did not attend Geo Woodstock, but I have enjoyed people visiting my caches that were traveling to and from Geo Woodstock.
Okay, so they must be somewhere nearby-ish
Hmm.
or on a main route. Yeah, I can kind of relate to that because a couple of years back I was granted one of those virtuals and I hit it at Lookout Pass,
Hmm.
which is right on the Idaho and Montana border of I-90. And it's fun getting all the logs that people post when they are doing that because they're often on a major epic trip. Coming into, HQ or getting the Northwest or yeah, Northwest states or something like that. So I can relate to great adventures, getting
Yeah.
people finding your cache and seeing what they have to say about it.
Mhm.
So yeah, we had some adventures.
Did we?
Yeah, we
Oh.
did. Yeah, we were at Woodstock as well. And it was great to see a lot of you that were there and get to visit and even do some geocaching with a few of you all. But we flew in on Wednesday afternoon and got to tour the salt mines with the big groups Thursday, which was just really
Fascinating.
fascinating, educational, really cool. I'm losing my voice. Carry on.
Well, and then we did something else. And then after that was over, then we went.
Yeah. No, I really appreciated how the organizers at Woodstock put this together. There was often a morning event and then an evening event. And then there were lots of other things that, had been either just randomly put together or were there already or were placed just for this big weekend. So there was so much to do. But it wasn't jam-packed. You didn't feel like you had to event after event after event. You're like, I really want to get on geocaching. I love seeing everybody, but it's also nice to get a few finds. So we had lots of opportunities to do all
Yeah.
of that.
I think after the salt mines, after our shift was over, we went
Mhm.
to downtown,
Mhm.
had lunch, and then just talking with other geocachers that were there. There were 20 two 10-stop labs
Mhm.
right there. So, okay, well, we did those and finished off and went to the one of the breweries
Mhm.
and
That was supporting the event.
the
We
sporting
got
event
a
and
coupon.
where we learned from other geocachers that now there's 10 more that just published. And
That was a 14, 15,000 step day.
yeah,
Easily.
and then the next day, Friday, was the Cosmosphere.
Mhm.
And so instead of being 650 feet underground, you were about 10, 20 feet above ground
Yeah.
at this Air and Space Museum.
Yeah.
That was just awesome. And we were on a tour.
Mhm.
They broke us up into fairly large groups, but I think they had like 6 docents given the tour.
I believe so. Yeah.
And we got,
Get a great dose of
yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
It was just fascinating.
Mhm.
Fascinating stuff. They had um, lots of space stuff, and it's the real stuff.
Yeah.
There's the Gemini capsule that sank is the early 70s, I think, or 60s, and
Something like that. Yeah.
but it was recovered in the 90s, and that actual capsule is on display at
Mhm.
this museum.
Mhm.
It was just super
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah. The only challenge was that once we were done with our tour, the line was literally out the door to get into the maze. It's like, well, this is going to be here for a few days, so we'll
We'll
come
come
back.
back later.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Otherwise, because some people waited a long time in line, and it's a slow thing. You want to read all the panels and enjoy it. So it's better to do it when it's not so crowded.
yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So we had actually volunteered for Saturday at the packet pickup station,
Mhm.
and the way the event was set up, the organizers moved packet pickup. It was available at every event,
Mhm.
and so by Saturday,
Nobody needed their
yeah,
packets.
we had more volunteers than remaining packets to hand out. So we just yacked and one we yacked with the most was Trekkie 79, and we're telling him, after Woodstock, we're heading to Kansas City, and he's from Kansas City, and so what do you have any recommendations for caches we do on Monday? He says, well, yeah, you should do these. Oh, okay. Well, those were ones he hid. So
Yeah. So it's geo art.
yeah.
Actually, there were two geo arts. We didn't have time to do them both, unfortunately, but we had enough to do one. It's the shape of the badge on Star Trek, their emblem that you tap.
Mhm.
And there were challenges, and they were by the airport, which was perfect because we were flying home Monday evening. But a lot of them are 20 feet up in trees. And we didn't have anything to retrieve them with. He says, well, I've got a tool for you. So I'll meet you at the starting point and I'll have a tool for you. I'm like, great.
All right.
So, I thought, maybe we can get a couple of them. Well, he also had e-bikes for us. It was just wonderful.
Yeah.
And his wife was Rita,
Mhm.
was walking the whole trail with another geocacher that was in a wheelchair, an electric wheelchair. So she could walk a little bit, but wouldn't have been able to
Yeah.
do the entire thing. So this made it handy cachable to have an assist with another grabber tool. So it was just super nice of this couple to really go out of their way to spend the day, assisting us. And he would drive ahead, a couple miles, and where you could intersect with the trail again. It was paved, and see how we were doing. And we finally did catch up with Rita and Reed. I don't remember her caching name. Another cacher. Um, so that worked out just
Yeah.
perfect. And it was just such a surprise to, we were just expecting, it's that way and here's a pole. And then to have those e-bikes was really
Yeah, that
cool.
was really cool.
Yeah.
And so these were all challenges
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
um very hard challenges.
Yeah.
And one, my favorite one though, was if I understand what I was reading correctly, uh, geocaches that are 1 million meters apart.
Mhm.
And so I qualified for that, and then at Project GC, spits out the list of all your I think we had to do 15 of them. And so it spit out the list of everything that qualified. My favorite pair on that was these are over 1 million meters apart. The one is Utah's first pioneer burial site. Found that in 2017.
Mhm.
And it was paired with digging up bones. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's an odd pairing.
And then my second favorite one is it was a three continent challenge.
Mhm.
So you had to find one in each in three or more countries,
Continents.
continents. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, continents.
Mhm.
And said, so maybe Mountain Goat Jim will appreciate this. My log says, I don't want to brag or nothing, but I had this challenge 1/3 of the way completed with my very first find.
Yeah. And we both qualified for that, but with different
Different,
continents.
yeah, different
Yeah.
continents, yeah.
So
So it was a nice trail.
it
Yeah.
was, yeah. We signed all the logs, but we didn't qualify for quite all of them. So I'll have to go back and double check since we did so many, I logged so many after we got home. I might actually qualify for a few more of those.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that was, then we saw a Mariners game as well, which was really fun in Kansas City. Went to the Royals game, and my goodness, the people there were so nice
Hmm.
in the park. They obviously they knew we were Mariners fans, so it seemed like they went out of their way.
I just never seen so many people rooting for the wrong team. That
Yeah,
was just weird.
it was weird. Yeah, unfortunately we lost, but it was still,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was fun.
it was fun. We had a good time, and then got Missouri's oldest as well,
Right.
on Monday. That Monday or no, that
That was
afternoon.
Sunday
It
after
was
the game.
Sunday after the game. That's right. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then finally made our way home. We got home. All of our flights were delayed, but luckily they were delayed like exactly in line with each other. So we didn't miss anything. Didn't have to rush. I finally got home after midnight Tuesday morning, I guess it would have been. So that next day was long. But anyway,
Yeah.
it was a good time. And it was what were you pointing at?
Oh, Chris is gonna go get your virtual.
I saw that. I gave her a thumbs up. Yeah, I'm sure to go get that. So, and the nice thing about that virtual right on the state line at that same exit, you can get a cache in both states. You can get both Montana and Idaho, right there within 600 feet of each other. So, what was I going to say? Oh, it was just the only thing that was really different for me was I didn't have a booth at this one where years and years and years, every mega generally that I've gone to,
Mhm.
I've had a booth of some sort. But with the change of my business model, I didn't need to. So it was just fun just to hang out and do more geocaching. So that's why we were able to volunteer, get
Mhm.
our booth fixed there, and hopefully, got to see a lot of folks come through, answer a lot of questions of where to go. They didn't need their registration, but they didn't know where to go. So we did have a little topic. We've got
Yeah.
like, 16 minutes left of this
Yeah, we
go
should
over
have
to our
probably
topic.
said, okay, you only have 2 minutes on the topic.
Yeah. I guess maybe we should have done an open mic night tonight.
It'll go.
We had a lot of
It'll go as
stories.
long as it goes.
Yeah,
That's
for
how
sure.
we roll around here.
So, Robert, would you like to tackle it first?
Absolutely. I love to tackle it first. So before I started geocaching, I was in a dark, depressing, hard time in my life that was very stressful and very hard. I then had a woman by the name of Linda, whose geocaching name was Starcatcher55. She introduced me to geocaching and it gave me a lot of joy, a lot of purpose, and a lot of meaning. It brought something to do in my life to be able to get outside and exercise because I was a little overweight and still working on that. But it gave me an opportunity to exercise, get out, find some cool things. I've enjoyed the trackables. They have brought a good challenge to my life, and I enjoy finding the trackables, enjoying them, and being able to help them complete their missions.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. I think that's a very similar story that a lot of people have.
One other thing I wanted to quickly say, did you hear about Dolly Parton's new diet?
No.
It's called Go Lean. Go Lean.
That
Oh my
sounds
goodness,
good for our health and wellness. Yeah.
that's close to Mike worthy right there.
Yeah, mic drop that one. Yeah. That was good.
I know when I first started,
Mhm.
um, I would track how many miles I walked in that day or
Mhm.
for that series of caches. And then I made that part of my log is, I'd walk 1.47 miles for a geocaching.
Mhm.
And I was actually keeping track of the cumulative on a spreadsheet. And I can't remember why I quit doing that, but maybe it just dawned on me that, that's just too much geek. I just didn't. Stats are stats, and there's too many stats.
But yeah, that's another thing that is so much fun about the geocaching is the stats. A lot of us really dig into that. We've all been talking about challenges and things that, we've been working on with, trips past and trips coming up and, plan to do. And now it's gotten so much easier, with our wearables that actually track those sorts of
hmm
things too. So, yeah. Vince, go ahead, Vince.
Yeah, I want to say the biggest thing about caching that I really like is it is a real very mentally healthy sport
Mhm.
to do. Because it was actually about 21 years ago I was going through a marital separation, and then I was thinking, well, I need to find a hobby or something to do to keep myself occupied because, of course, my kids at the time were going to be moving with their ma, so I was going to be I was going to have a lot of time on my hands, and yeah, so that's what kind of got me hooked, and like even to this day, it's just nice to jump in the geo vehicle and see what you're going to go see and meet some new people and stuff like that. One thing I was going to quick go touch on Casey, Illinois again. You do kind of got to watch it because it can get kind of hazardous there. If you can see that, yeah, I got caught in a big I got caught in a big mouse trap up over there.
Oh no, that's pretty
So
cheesy.
yeah, so that's yeah, so it could be a little bit yeah. Anyway, but yeah, very very mentally healthy is probably the biggest thing I can probably attest to.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I think geocaching can be so immersive, I guess is a good word to use. Even just walking down a trail, following a go-to. I mean, it gives you focus where for a little bit of time, the troubles of the world or, whatever is, stressing us, um, can just be in the background and not be there. So that can give us clarity to come back to challenges or life in general, a little refreshed, a little clearer for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, until now, which now I realize we're never going to Casey.
Oh.
They have the world's largest mice. Jeez.
Yeah. Rodents of unusual size. Ah. Oh yeah, Nancy, I hear you. Too many meet and greets to be healthy. We have a ton of those in our area lately. We have a geocacher that has taken a break from the game and recently has come back, and he hosts weekly events now at fast food places. We never eat there. So you don't have to eat when you go. But if that's, how it works into your time, that's your dinner window or lunch window, yeah, that can be a challenge.
And then we've done our annual events that are potlucks, and yeah, as well. So
Mhm.
And we eat there.
It was potluck. That was much better than,
Yeah.
McDonald's or whatever, for sure. So for me, when I started geocaching, you may have heard my story that I was working on campus full time and I was going to school full time on the same campus, going night school. And so I was literally on campus 12 hours a day. And needed a break. I needed some sort of outlet to get back out in nature and just not be, focused so much on my studies and my work and such. And that's when I heard about geocaching. Like, this is perfect. It's a little bit geeky, a little bit outdoorsy, and that's me. A lot of that geeky and outdoorsiness. And it was just a perfect way. And then I started making friends through geocaching. And now geocaching really has become my community. I met my husband through geocaching. Um, and so, it's something that
Yeah.
we enjoy different aspects of geocaching, but we're willing to tolerate it, the other ones, types of geocaching
I made
as
her
well.
go through like 7 states and just find one cache in each state.
That
And
was so hard. That was stressful.
but it filled my.
Yeah,
I should create a challenge. I wonder if I can.
I bet you could.
Yeah.
Something like that. But then yeah, you also will do a power run occasionally with me too. So yeah. So for me, it definitely relieved a lot of stress tension of just being so focused academically, working on campus and going to school full time. So nice to just get in the woods and just have some fun. Anybody else care to share? Any
Well, you touched while they were gathering their thoughts.
okay.
You touched on the social aspects of meeting friends, and I'm reading a book, which one is a rarity. Two, it's not a novel. It's called Eat Your Ice Cream, and it's six ways to a happy, healthy life. And I'm on the third way right now, and it's all about socializing. And he's quoting study after study after study, um, from the 1800s through now, and all different societies that, um, people who socialize, um, in essence, live longer. And and so her dad's a perfect example of that.
Yes.
We can't take him anywhere, and he starts yakking somebody up.
Oh yeah.
It just doesn't matter.
He's best friends with everybody all of a sudden.
Yeah,
And he's very charismatic, so people enjoy talking to him.
and so the author was talking about his dad, who was the same way. And his dad lived to be 92. Your dad is
96, going
96. Yeah.
still living at home.
Yeah. So yeah, there's something to it. And so, geocaching uh can afford us this community and the friends. And it's for me, it is at first it was novel to see somebody, uh well, Schwant
Oh yeah.
lives on the East Coast, but his mother lives here and he visits twice a year. And we made our second or third trip back east, for the Woodstock and Boonesboro. And that was fun in of itself. And we're setting up the booth that day, and here's Schwant. And we're sort of looking at each other. What? And then so now our little joke from this Woodstock was, based on we got in late really on a Wednesday, so missed that event, and then the salt mine was first thing in the morning, first event, and we get there and the place is just jam packed. And so we found our Australian friend who has been hanging out around here. Other friends, Ken and Ken, his mom and dad, and things of that nature. And then we go on our elevator ride and get 650 feet below, and here's all these other friends.
Coming from the darkness, all different parts of the mind out
And
on the salt line.
Yeah, and so now it's just hard for me to make that distinction. My friends are not just here, right?
Yeah,
They're
we have
just
friends
everywhere.
everywhere. Yeah. And we were getting ready to start that biking trail.
Yeah, this is funny.
Yeah. And a young man came biking up and he was geocaching as well. And I think his dad was with him.
His dad's bike had a flat,
That's
so he
right.
was sitting in the parking lot.
Yeah, that's right. And we're like, your name sounds really
Well,
familiar.
actually, he said we're doing hey, where are you from? And he says Minnesota, Twin Cities area. Where are you from? Oh, Spokane, Washington. Says, oh yeah, I got relatives in Coeur d'Alene. Oh, okay. And so then we get the log out, and I hand it to him. He stamps it and hands it back, and I recognize the stamp, the signature, the name. And I go, wait a minute, you live in Woodbury, don't you? And he looks at me and says, yeah. And he says, and a couple of years ago, you and your dad came to a flea market in Spokane Valley looking for Martin Five. Yeah.
Farmer's market, not flea market.
And then I tell him, yeah, I found your caches in Woodbury because that's where I stay when work sends me to Minnesota. And here we are in Kansas City, Kansas.
Yeah.
Or Missouri, talking about.
Technically Missouri.
Yeah. Crazy.
Small world. Yeah. So definitely, I think the social aspect is just huge. And yeah, all of you guys, so many of you have been with us for the 6 years we've been doing Mappy Hour, and a lot of you we've known even longer. So love it. Anybody else have some thoughts or stories that they might want to share? Yeah.
No.
I think
we might end on time.
Yeah, we just might. I see Nancy and Bob made it home, perhaps. Dark Horse says geocaching help you land a job. Wow, you found a company that launched weather balloons and they needed someone to go recover them. That's perfect. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
You've got the coordinates where they, landed, then you know exactly how to go get those. Love it.
Oh, and then for Ken's benefit on the warranty issue, my second GPS I bought from her. It was a
where'd you go?
Okay.
And
the 60?
20.
Oh, was it 20? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And one night it died and I can't make it go anymore. And I'm sitting there, oh my goodness. What's the warranty? I look up the warranty, it's 1 year. I say, oh man, it's been over a year. I still had the receipt. And I had 1 day to go. It was a year the next day. And I sent it in. I sent in with the receipt and they fixed it and sent it back. No problem.
Yeah.
It's been working ever since.
Wherever it is.
Wherever it is.
Yeah. DeLorme was a great company. I really had a great relationship with the DeLorme folks and did a lot of beta testing for them. And then Garmin bought them out.
And there's Molly.
Yeah, is that Miss Molly?
I'm wondering if that's what they had to unpack from the car.
It could have been, and they had to unpack Molly. Yeah. It might be time for a pet check. Anybody else? See, Dark Horse has a couple of cats in the picture. Hilo is sleeping. His life is mostly revolving around sleeping these days. Yeah, he's getting older.
Every day he's getting older.
Yeah, we all are, but yes, they age a little bit faster.
Well, yeah, I think we can go ahead and wrap this up. We like if you notice in chat, Robert said let's talk stats next time. And
that sound good?
that sounds good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we did a lot of caching, so I need to revisit a lot of my stats and see. I'm actually finally one cache away from finishing my fizzy. Finally. And I've got some targets that I picked out. So
Your second fizzy.
no.
Oh, first fizzy?
Yeah.
Wow.
And second Jasmine. Just about there too.
Excellent.
Oh, there's a kitty, JNLA. Ah, such a pretty one. Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and wrap this up. We're like it's exactly, I don't know if you guys can see my watch, 7 o'clock. So, wow, that was good. Well, it's great hearing from all of you. We've all been having some fantastic adventures and more adventures to be coming for folks this coming up this summer season. I think we don't really have anything particularly planned right away.
It's the summer, no.
Yeah. Staying a little closer to home with my 96-year-old dad still living at home. I don't want to get too far away. And visiting a friend in the hospital tomorrow. So take care, you guys.
So Dale Johnson says, no pets, no worries.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Truer words are never spoken.
Yeah, yeah. And no cat hair. I just washed cat beds today. Well, take care, everybody. We will see you all in 2 weeks. Same cash time, same cash channel. All right. Good night, everybody.